The healthcare vote is postponed. What is going to happen next?
And a new study unveils that race could play a factor in whether or not drivers yield to pedestrians.
All this and much more only on Studio G. Thank you for joining us in Studio G. Today is March 24th, 2017. I'm Giselle De Los Reyes.
And I'm Albania Guido. President Trump says no more talk. It is time to vote on the new healthcare bill. Republicans scramble to push for a yes. After 7 years of talking about replacing Obamacare, Republicans finally have their chance. But after the vote was postponed yesterday, it became clear that Republicans are divided.
It has become abundantly clear that Obamacare has failed the American people. Our nation's healthcare system today is broken and only getting worse under the current law.
This bill will take away health care from 24 million hardworking Americans. It forces families to pay higher premiums and deductibles. It's a crushing age tax, forcing Americans aged 50 to 64 to pay premiums 5 times higher.
This bill is bad policy, built on a bad process. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle should be ashamed. And honestly, I bet some of them really are.
Meetings behind closed doors and last-minute changes to gain yes votes have Republicans scrambling to pass this new healthcare law. When asked what would happen if this health bill fails, President Trump had this to say.
We'll have to see.
Do you think it's going to pass?
See what happens.
Did you rush it?
Thank you. We'll see what happens.
And we definitely will see what happens in these next few hours. The vote is scheduled to happen as we are on air.
Clark County Wetlands Park is an oasis in the midst of the Las Vegas area. Jessica Vargas was there to show us this gem in the desert.
Clark County Wetlands Park has played an integral part in the water cycle for the Las Vegas Valley and has become a bird refuge for numerous waterfowl and migratory bird species.
The Wetlands Park consists of 210 acres of nature preserve trails and paths to enjoy. Visitors can hike to several ponds where they can view wildlife in its natural habitat.
We have a lot of different species. They've counted over 300 different species of birds that come here at different times of the year. We have lots of different species of animals, insects. We also have fish and other species that actually live in the water. We have turtles, tortoises, all different kinds of wildlife here.
One of the prominent features of the park is that visitors can hear the rush of the water flowing through the rocks as it passes under the bridge.
Well, this is actually a really special park in the Las Vegas Valley. The most important part about it is that we are directly connected to the municipal water system in the Las Vegas Valley. So all the water that people use in their homes, all the water that gets used in the hotels, it goes into the municipal water system. It actually goes to different treatment plants where it gets cleaned out, and then it gets discharged into what's called the Las Vegas Wash.
The Wetlands Nature Center and Exhibit Hall includes interactive and educational programs with activities for both children and adults.
We're always looking for new volunteers, so if anybody's interested, we would love to hear from you. You can give us a call at 702-455-7522.
Wetlands Park is a great getaway for all Las Vegas residents and visitors. You may want to check it out now while it's spring before we get those triple-digit temps.
Many UNLV students have been having issues registering for classes due to limited space capacity. Yuri Andrea Shook dug deeper at the Advising Center.
The UNLV Greenspun College Suburban Affairs Advising Center helps students to recommend classes, set times for upcoming classes, and to set a graduation date for students. Recently, students have had issues getting registered for classes due to the high demand of classes and space filling up. Course requirements have been causing these issues. I spoke to the Advising Center to find out what methods students could use to ensure that they're successfully registered for their upcoming classes.
In terms of classes closing, I know that is an issue. a lot of the times we ask them to go and talk to the department chairs or undergraduate coordinators. In order to prevent it, it's just a matter of planning as well. So it's just a matter of coming in early enough so you can set up a schedule that works for you. As soon as the schedule is up, you're always more than welcome to come in so that we can set up a schedule that works, whether it's with work or just life in general. And then that way you can at least have a plan or have a backup plan if your first choice of classes don't work. The policy typically is that at 90 credits, you're more than welcome to apply for graduation. However, we encourage you to come into the advising center when you hit your 90 credits so that we can set up a plan that works for you to fill out your last 30. We always say not to apply until you've registered for your last set of courses so that way when your application does come through, we pull it and we audit your degree. We see that you will have met all of your requirements, and that if you missed a course or registered for the wrong one, we can go ahead and call you and guide you in the right direction.
Issues do arise, but the Advising Center does everything they can to ensure an on-time graduation for students. For Studio G, I'm Urian Dryashuk.
Make sure you plan your classes with an advisor for the upcoming summer and fall terms.
Summer is around the corner and there's no excuse to obtain a bikini body. This is what a fitness motivator told Timey in an interview. Here are some exercises you can do at home.
Hi guys, I'm here with fitness motivator and mother Heather Sanchez. Thank you so much for having us in your house.
Thanks for coming.
And I am so excited to talk to you because you look amazing, and I know you're a mother, you work, you are always so busy, but you always have time for yourself.
It's really important to me. It's like a culture or a religion. There are certain practices that you have to do or abide by. Fitness is the same way. Like, it's a practice, it's a lifestyle, a way of life. It's making healthy choices. It's always been very important to me to stay active. And now even more so that I have a daughter. You know, she's my motivation now. Really sad, the numbers in America are scary. It's 2/3 of Americans are obese, and 1 out of 6 children are obese, and those numbers are just not okay with me. If I can change the minds of just a few people, it means the world to me. You can use your living room for simple exercises. There's no excuses. You can do leg lifts. These are great for your lower abs. Focus very hard on the muscle group that you want to target and squeeze. Every time you go down, squeeze and push. You guys can do it, I promise you. It seems really hard, but once you anything seems like there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. So just start somewhere and you'll get there. Just be realistic with yourself. That's it.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. Back to the studio.
Looks like a great way to get fit for spring break.
Stay tuned, and when we come back, we will have your weather forecast for the week.
And we're going to have your Rebel Roundup, so stick around. We'll be back soon.
Nutrition Center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the Nutrition Center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
I think we're feeling like excited about the prospects. We know we're going to drop a lot of time, hopefully break a few records, and I think that the team is ready to go.
I'm pretty excited. We've done very well as a team this year, and I think coming into taper, I think we're going to do really well these next few weeks.
Welcome back to Studio G. Now saddle up because it's time for your Rebel Roundup.
This Sunday is the 3rd annual Nevada Women's Film Fest at the Springs Preserve. The mission of the NWF Fest is to celebrate and support the fair representation of women in film. They will be naming the Nevada Women Filmmaker of the Year along with their Femi Awards. The program lineup supports a diversity of backgrounds and worldviews. Local Nevadans along with student filmmakers will be showcased. It is a great way to spend the last weekend of Women's History Month.
Will this year's talent show blow us away? We find out Thursday, March 30th when the Honors College presents their student-led talent show. Be prepared for a night of singing, dancing, instrumental ensembles, rapping, and even a stand-up routine. This event is free and open to all.
You have the opportunity to have your artwork featured on the next UNLV Student Planner. Yes, those cool free calendars given to students on the first day of the semester can be designed by you. Students are encouraged to submit cover designs that they believe capture the essence of campus and what it means to be a rebel. The contest winner will have their design as the cover of the planner as well as a 2017 to 18 annual parking pass. Entries must be submitted by April 7, 2017.
Do you know a student, teacher, or organization that does outstanding things? Well, now is your chance to recognize them. The Rebel Awards are now accepting nominations. The categories include individual student awards, group awards, program awards, and professional awards. Submit your nominations until March 31st at rebelawards@unlv.edu.
Mario Party Wars is hosting Game Night Spring Edition in the Student Ballroom tomorrow from 12 to 8 p.m. There will be video game tournaments, tabletop workshops, food and drinks, a Pokemon Go event, a video game museum, and even a concert by the Super Soul Brothers. There is no dress code, but you can't go wrong with Mario's favorite pants, denim, denim, denim.
3 incidents of golf cart thefts occurred on campus this week. The first was stolen Sunday and the other 2 on Monday. The golf carts were recovered off campus in all 3 incidents and 1 person was arrested. On Tuesday, a person was arrested on the south side of campus for attempted robbery and battery.
That's it for your Rebel Roundup. Now let's see how our weather is going to be looking. What do you have for us, Jamie?
Thank you, ladies. My name is Jamie Poole, and I will be giving you your weather forecast for today. Right now, it is a beautiful day. We're looking at a high of 76, a low of 58, but mostly sunny. Beautiful here as always. And our image of the day today is from ChicagoDetours.com, where they're experiencing some unusually high temperatures. Everyone's out riding their bikes, walking their dogs, taking advantage of some temperatures that are going up to as high as 80 degrees today. But let's take a look at the rest of your weather forecast for this weekend. It looks like we are going to be mostly sunny, staying around the 70s. Saturday, we are looking at a slight chance of showers, but other than that, we're staying mostly sunny and lows are staying around the 50s. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend to go outside and enjoy that weather. Now let's take a look at the rest of the valley here. It looks like we are going to be staying at around the 60s. Our highest is Henderson at 67 and Green Valley with 66 degrees. Looking beautiful, not too shabby for spring so far. Okay, now let's take a look at here at UNLV. We are at a high, 66 degrees right now. We have some slight winds, not too bad, nice and breezy if you're walking to class. It feels great. But tonight we are looking at a high of 59, or a low of 59, excuse me. We are going to be pretty cloudy, and it looks like we are going to have some windy, some gusts up to 20 miles per hour tonight. So hold on to your hat if you are walking outside tonight. Now let's take a look at your national forecast. It looks like we are going to get some heavy snow possible right in the Four Corners area as well as up in the Washington area. We do have some rain coming in from the East Coast, but that's all that I have for your national forecast today. Stick around, and after the break, we will have a special interview with the assistant professor in the School of Community Health Sciences who oversaw an eye-opening study about a pedestrian safety.
Nutrition Center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the Nutrition Center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
boy Miles Lowe.
It's your girl Scribe Cash.
My name's Fabian Stefan, Perpetual Player One.
And I'm your host, Brandy the Prince Madison.
My name is Haley Rogers.
From the Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Your Scribe Cash radio show.
You can listen to Pixel Jam. Press start to play.
And this is The Takeover.
Rock on Rebel.
On KUNV HD2.
From the RebelHD2.com.
Welcome back to the show. My name is Annabelle Rocha. A new study at UNLV finds that race could play a role in how likely a driver will yield to pedestrians. The study found that drivers approaching a crosswalk are less likely to yield to black pedestrians than white pedestrians. I was able to speak with the professor who ran this study.
Came up with the idea for this study based on another study that was done in downtown Portland. They had looked at driver yielding behaviors for African American male pedestrians and white male pedestrians crossing the street. We wanted to take a look at it here to see if pedestrians were having the same types of risks and if they were even more increased given that we live in a sprawling community.
This study, conducted by UNLV researchers, found that drivers are less likely to yield for black pedestrians than white pedestrians. The results also showed that pedestrian bias was worse in higher income neighborhoods.
I don't think that the bias is necessarily conscious because when drivers make the decision to yield to a pedestrian, it's often very quick. So it's probably an unconscious bias. Again, we didn't study that because there would have been no way to study that aside from pulling over the driver, after they went through the crosswalk. But more than likely, since it's such a fast decision, it's probably an implicit bias that even the drivers aren't aware that they have.
Dr. Courtney Kogenhauer, Assistant Professor of Community Health Sciences, was nice enough to come on our show today. She's joined by James Abelar, Community Health Science Research Assistant. Welcome to our show, and thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
So first let's talk about, can you give us like an overall little summary of the procedures that went into this study?
Sure, yeah. So we decided we wanted to study how drivers yielded to pedestrians at a mid-block crosswalk. So we chose two different crosswalks, one in a high-income area and one in a low-income area. And we studied a few different things. One of them we studied was how often the very first car would stop for the pedestrian. And then we also studied how many cars actually continued on through the intersection while the pedestrian was actually in the roadway.
And what did your study find?
Well, we actually found that while the white pedestrian was standing on the curb at the high-income crosswalk, drivers were less likely to yield to the female pedestrian while she was standing on the curb. But once the African American pedestrian actually stepped into the roadway, fewer cars were actually yielding to the pedestrian. It was actually a pretty high ratio of 7-to-1. So people were much less likely to yield to the African American pedestrian while she was actually in the road.
And did you only test this on women?
Yes, so we only had two female pedestrians. All of them were students in the School of Community Health Sciences.
And do you think the results would have been different had you tested it on male pedestrians?
I actually do think it would have been different, yes. Male pedestrians actually have a higher crash risk, so I think if we were to be able to compare men and women, we would have probably seen a difference as well.
And James, how did you get involved in this study?
I was taking a class with Dr. Kogenhauer, and she needed help with research, and I asked, can I help? And she had this project going on. It sounded really interesting, and started helping, and here I am.
And I know you guys kind of got the idea for this study based on a similar study that was done in Portland, but why do you think it was important to test that here in Las Vegas or in Nevada?
I think it's really important to look at our issues locally because not all cities are the same. And if you've ever been to downtown Portland, you know it is designed very differently than we are here in Las Vegas. They have more narrow streets. In fact, the crosswalk they used in downtown Portland was only 2 lanes, so 1 travel lane in each direction. And the roads we looked at here were 4 and 6 lanes. So that in and of itself poses a much bigger threat to pedestrians. So it's really interesting and it's really important to look at issues that we have here at the local level.
And what was your response to the results for each of you? Were you surprised? Is it kind of what you expected?
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say I was surprised. I mean, everybody's going to view it differently. I would say everybody should go to the actual article and read it to fully understand it. But I mean, I wasn't surprised by what people responded to it.
I would have to agree. We knew that they had found that there was a bias in Portland, so I wasn't overly surprised when we found that there was a bias here as well. I was a little surprised that the bias differed in the high and the low income area, and that it also was different depending on whether the pedestrian was actually in the roadway or standing on the sidewalk.
What was the difference between the high and low income neighborhoods?
Drivers were much less likely to yield at the high income neighborhood, so we can't really speculate as to why, but it could potentially be that there are fewer pedestrians in high-income neighborhoods because more people do own a car. It could also be that the speed was a little bit higher on that street, so it gave them less time to react. But in general, cars only yielded about half the time to the pedestrian in the high-income neighborhood, and in the low-income neighborhood, they yielded about 70% of the time.
And this study has received a lot of publicity. What has the response been so far?
The responses have been kind of mixed. So some people get it, right? They understand that, you know, there's a bias, and it's really important that we start to talk about these biases in order to work past them. And then some people aren't super open to the results, and have been a little bit angry about the results.
Did you experience the same kind of response?
Yeah, same thing.
And are you guys continuing to research this? Are you testing new neighborhoods or new cities?
I mean, without going too much into our current study, but yeah, we're retesting it. We have males involved this time, and we also have 2 very similar neighborhoods within a mile of a school. And we're also this time looking at the type of cars that are not yielding to see if there's like income bias at all.
And what about in the UNLV area? Are you testing near campus? Can you say?
Maybe for the future. Okay. That'd be a really good idea.
You're open to the idea.
Yes.
We are open to the idea, yes.
And seeing the results and being so involved in this, did it make you think about the way you guys drive or the way that the pedestrians that you yield to when you're driving?
I think just being involved in pedestrian safety research in general, it makes me much more aware of pedestrians and bicyclists as I drive. And like I said, everybody has some type of implicit bias, whether we're aware of it or not. So no matter who the pedestrian is, I always try to yield. But it definitely does make me more aware of yielding behaviors of drivers while out there on the road.
You, James?
I'd have to agree. Before I took her class, which got me involved in this, I definitely didn't have that. Now, I want to say I was always a safe driver, but it really opened my eyes with the study and with her class, and definitely a more safer driver now.
And are you guys including more people in the research next time? Or is it just the same group and you guys are continuing on as a series?
We have a couple other students that are going to try and get involved this summer. So we really want to get some of our public health undergrad students involved in research. So we're trying to get them excited about it and get them to volunteer for the research this summer.
Okay, well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you guys so much for being here with us today. Stay tuned, and when we come back, we'll meet a local basketball team that is shooting for the top.
Nutrition Center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the nutrition center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
I think we're feeling like excited about the prospects. We know we're going to drop a lot of time, hopefully break a few records, and I think that the team is ready to go.
I'm pretty excited. We've done very well as a team this year, and I think coming into Tabor, I think we're going to do really well these next few weeks.
Welcome back, Rebels. Grab your basketball and get ready to play on the courts. Studio G reporter Kayleen Talent has a story about a basketball team that was created here in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas basketball team called Playhouse has grown in numbers throughout the years. I got the chance to talk to Playhouse's manager and get the inside scoop about this hardworking basketball team.
So Playhouse was established in 1996 back in Delano, California when I was a 7th grader. And so it was a group of 7 kids that grew together. Basically, gangs was a huge thing in our hometown. And we built this crew that became a brotherhood to basically keep us out of trouble.
Rolly Euclere chose to be Playhouse's manager because he simply wants to give back to a team that has made him who he is today.
As years gone by, I dedicated a lot of my time to this group of 7 guys, and they helped keep me out of trouble, helped me make great decisions in life, and I feel like I owe it to Playhouse to make sure that we can keep that going for years to come.
Playhouse has made many accomplishments. Rolly explains how they have branched out to different states.
So we are now in 6 different locations. We started off in Delano, California. We branched out to Las Vegas, Nevada. We're now in Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego, as well as Hawaii. And this past Friday, we just branched out internationally to Canada.
With Playhouse being successful, Rolly stresses that the basketball team's success and achievements are from each individual on the team.
I always sit and think about the success of Playhouse, and it's not just me. I do a lot for Playhouse, but it's not me. Without all these people that support this big dream that I have, Playhouse would be nothing. So it means the world to me. I carried this on my back for the past 20 years, going on 21 years, and I do it because I love it.
Playhouse does not have tryouts, but they do have open court every Wednesday at Darkanian Basketball Academy from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. For Studio G, I'm Kayleen Talents.
Las Vegas Playhouse has won 82 championships.
A new dining experience has made its way to Fremont Street. Studio G reporter Ashley Renan has more.
If you're walking down Fremont Street Experience and you smell an aroma of chicken, brisket, and pork, that means you've reached Project Barbecue.
Project Barbecue, the newest addition to the Fremont Street Experience, opened its food truck doors on March 9th, but it's been a dream for Chef Rex Bernalis for quite some time.
We've been talking about this for a long, long time, and finally when the opportunity came for us to actually do this, I jumped on, not the next flight, I actually jumped in my car and drove all the way from Orlando to here. This is a 1999 MT-55 FedEx truck. I'm pretty much bringing something to the valley that I honestly don't think nobody else has, especially the way we're doing it right now.
Some highlights on the menu include the garbage bowl, the classic pulled pork sandwich, and Chef Rex's famous Project Chips, which is smothered with beer and cheese sauce.
We're doing Carolina-style barbecue, low and slow. It's where we take brisket, pork, and chicken. I got my own seasoning, my own spices that I put together. I put in a smoker that we have and smoke it low and slow for about 12 hours.
It's great, it's good stuff. I liked pulled pork's good. I get Missouri pulled pork, and this is very comparable to it, and I love it.
Chef Rex shares insight into what it's like to run a barbecue food truck under the bright lights of Fremont Street.
We are going on our second week. It's been an awesome experience so far. A lot of hard work. The team that's here that put this together, countless hours and effort to make this thing happen, and we're here doing it.
Project Barbecue just opened its doors, but Chef and the crew plan on making this project a permanent fix. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Ashley Renan.
Chef Rex's plan for the future is to open multiple Project Barbecue food trucks and eventually his own restaurant.
That looks so incredible. I'm starving now.
I'm so hungry.
I'm ready to go right after we finish our newscast.
Let's go.
That's all for our show today. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you again next week here at Studio G.